Hello everyone, welcome to another session of learning. We are seeing the CTET, TNTET or the State Teacher Eligibility Test exam topics. And in this video, we are going to continue with the child-centered and progressive education, which we have already started in the previous video. So in the first video, we saw about the child-centered education, its features, characteristics, and all such things, and principles of the child-centered learning. Okay. So now in this video, we're going to start with the progressive education. So we'll be covering this progressive education in two videos. And in the first video, we'll be seeing about the history or the background of how this came into play and how things are going on. After that, we'll be discussing one theory based on this progressive education. So let's get into the video. So now, when we look into progressive education, okay, so progressive education is a reaction against the traditional method of learning. So when we had a traditional method of learning, so this is coming as a progressive education where here we are giving some changes in the pedagogical movement, wherein we value experience over learning. Okay, more than the simple learning, we value experience over learning, and then we can see that this is done at the expense of the understanding of what is being taught. So we can say that it is based on the idea that we should teach children how to think. So the children should be taught to think. So we saw in childhood education that we need to let the children to think. We need to let them be creative. We need to let them be curious. Their curiosity levels should be allowed. So all these things we saw. So here in progressive education, it deals with how we are going to make it a success. Okay. So for that, we'll have to do the process of learning by doing, wherein that is going to be the heart of this. So, learning by doing, this is the heart of this progressive education or this style of learning, wherein we use the hands-on principles. We use hands-on principles, hands-on projects, which helps them to learn little more. So these concepts come under the concepts of even experiential learning, wherein the active engagement is very, very important. Okay, we need to focus more on the active engagement of a student and a stronger understanding of what they need to learn. So, when you focus on all these, progressive education will surely become a success. So, as I told you, this progressive education, it has not just come today or yesterday. It dates back to the work of John Locke. Okay, so John Locke, he had already worked on it. So he was then followed by Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and after that came Froebel. Okay, so all these people were the forerunners of all the ideas of progressive education, which was then brought together by this person, that is John Dewey. So, this psychologist, he then brought everything, all these, and then he developed a theory. So, today we'll be seeing about the works of these four people and the theory which John Dewey gave, we'll be seeing in the next video. So, who are the three people? John Locke, and then the Jean-Jacques Rousseau and Froebel. You can see that these people all focused on the various types of learners. Because when we need to focus on progressive education, you need to know that you must make everybody understand. If you need to make everybody understand, you should know what kind of learners are there. You have a lot of visual learners in the class, kinesthetic learners, auditory learners, stress, ease learners, scribble, and through many ways. So we always talk about these three basic types of learners, and these are also the other ways wherein students learn from their environment or from the teacher or from people around them. Now, getting into the first person, that is John Locke. So, what he said, okay, he believed that truth and knowledge arise out of observation and experience. So, he focused more on the observation and the experience. Okay, he said that just manipulation of the available ideas. So something is given in the book. Okay, you just need to apply that. Then that is not going to help a learner at all. But then you need to observe and you need to experience. So when you do these both, then the learning will be made complete. That's what we can see in a visual learner. He will observe, and then he'll experience, he'll feel. So a kinesthetic learner, he feels what? Because they touch and they feel. Okay. So all these are there. And he says that children need to have concrete experiences in order to learn. This was said by John Locke and then K. Jean-Jacques Rousseau. So what he said was that he continued John Locke's line of thinking, and he said that the subordination of students to teachers, okay, and like it is not that only students should be subordinate, okay, that is not going to help. Likewise, only rote memorization is not going to help. Okay, he said that students are not always subordinate. See, in which year he has told. Okay, even in those early centuries, there are people who were working towards progressive education. Still, it took so many years to actually come into play. Okay, so he said that students are not subordinates always. Likewise, memorization of facts alone will never lead to education becoming a success. Then came the third person, Froebel. Okay, Froebel has a major role in many of the things which have come, which are practically possible today. He spoke about self-activity and play, and for Froebel, one thing you can remember is kindergarten. Okay, he is the person who started the kindergarten. Now we talk about KG, right? This KG, it came only because of Froebel. Okay, that you need to remember. So he laid the foundation for all these things. And he said the teacher's role was to encourage self-expression through play, both individually and in group activities. So he always believed in self-activity, and he said that children have unique needs and capabilities which have to be looked into. And he is the one who created the concept of kindergarten, which is a very important aspect of Rubel. So you must remember whenever you talk about kindergarten, you must remember the forerunner of these kindergarten concepts was Froebel. So now came John Dewey. So he brought the progressive education movement in the year 1980, and he developed the philosophy of education as well as country school reform. So all these he did, and he recommended the teachers and administrators to embrace the new style of education, which all his forerunners said. Okay, and in the late 19th century and early 20th century, we see that there is a major development in educational thinking that is only because of John Dewey. Okay, so all these are there, and with this he came out with a theory wherein we'll be learning about Dewey's theory of progressive education. So there is a theory for John Dewey here, and this theory we'll be seeing in the upcoming video. Okay, so hope you have understood this. If you have any doubt, please get back to the videos and then try to understand. If you're like going to learn little by little and then try to understand, it is going to be easy for you to crack the exams. See you again in another video with another concept. Thank you, everyone.